Hey, Shalom Israel. This is the Isupk coming out of One West, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana, and we are not affiliated with no other Israelite groups, period. I am Officer Kananya coming out of Milwaukee, and I want to first start off by saying Thawada and thanks to Commanding General Yohana for this for this last past fire weekend. It was my first fire weekend, and it was just glorious to see all the brothers and sisters coming from all the cities in the Midwest come together and break bread with each other and to just have that brother and sisterhood. One thing I can say about it is I didn't smell no weed. I didn't hear no brothers fighting over each other for their woman or whatever. It's completely organized, completely what's the word I'm looking for? Completely, just complete brotherhood and sisterhood. It was no arguments whatsoever. Yeah, and that's how it's supposed to be throughout the world, man, because if you're not in this school ISUPK, if you're not with this brotherhood, if you're not with this sisterhood, you will run into those elements and those problems, whether it be arguing with your brother or whether it be, you know what I'm saying, just jealousy is one of the elements. Just complete chaos if you're not in this school and not in the truth. So I want to give a big shout out to Commanding General Yohana and Captain Marquardt for hosting in Chicago. It was in Chicago, you know what I'm saying, my first fire weekend, and it was pretty dope, man. And we definitely ain't letting no heathens in. You can best believe that. So today I want to speak a little bit about the history of this earth, or what was going on, throughout the earth at this time. And throughout this earth at this time is chaos going on. You can see what I call is the great replacement. You got all kind of Salakia, if I keep saying you got all kind of immigrants coming from over here, whether it be Ukraine, whether it be Congo. I could tell you right now, at my slave, we got a whole mess of Africans that just came in, like a whole shift of Africans, like the whole second shift, nothing but Africans. And they migrated from wherever they migrated from. But this is what I will call the great replacement, because throughout cities, like as far as New York, Chicago, or now I see Milwaukee, Detroit, it's a lot of immigrants coming from, whether it be Ukraine, like I said, Ukraine, the Congo, just a lot of heathen nations coming into America, trying to replace the so-called black man, trying to replace the so-called Indian, trying to replace the so-called Mexican, even though we know this is native and Mexican land. So what they trying to do is, you ain't gonna never be able to replace a Mexican in America, because they literally, see what the oppressor did. He drew a line between Mexico and what they call the United States. That's literally one mass. But the oppressor, he drew a line. He drawing lines all over this United States to divide, when we know this is so-called Mexican and so-called Indian, Native American people's land. And we know that because you don't even have to cross a body of water to get into Mexico. You don't have to cross any type of body of water to get into Mexico or nothing like that. That's how we know that once the so-called white man or the oppressor, colonizer, he go by many names, once he drew a line through America, then you knew that he was dividing. That's their thing, man. Divide and conquer. When we should be like that too. We should be like that. As far as the 12 tribes of Israel, we should be exactly like that. We should come out of America, join together, and just leave they way of life behind, man, because throughout the earth, or throughout the centuries, it never helps us. The holidays, they break our pockets, then rent come around, then we late on the rent, then it's just a snowball effect of things that happen when it comes to the oppressor, or the so-called white man. And Salaki, if I keep saying again. So yeah, if you look throughout the earth, if you look throughout the years, or if you look through just 1 year, the same thing happens every time. It's rhetorical. Uh, he got his holidays. You go shopping for the holidays. You celebrate the holidays. Then after that, you come back home, or you come back wherever you live. You broke. Then rent rolls around, and it just does this month after month after month. Like every month is some kind of wicked holiday, and to bring something out even more. What I'm noticing is more death and more incarceration between our people, the 12 tribes of Israel. More and more death and incarceration occurs um, through the holidays. Like once it like Memorial Day, 4th of July, it's the most death that happens. People getting murdered and shot, little kids getting shot. People don't even know how to aim these days because they under a spell, and it's like more death happens. That's how these so-called holidays was created upon death, because once you create something for something, it only could be that, no matter what you try to change it to. Once you create, like for example, Thanksgiving, that's the slaughter of many Indians. Once you created that for that, then only death and destruction will occur on those days, no matter what you try to dress it up as, no matter what you try to disguise it as. More death and things happen on these wicked holidays, especially on New Year's Eve, New Year's. Around that time, that's when the most death happens, uh, uh, and that's a sign for you to come out, for you to come out of America, man. Just be a part of this 12 tribes. Look within these scriptures and see the high holy days, which you're supposed to celebrate, not the holidays, high holy days. It's a big difference. The holidays is what the oppressor made up. He made you celebrate that. He beat that into you. He, it's a bunch of advertisement. You know what I'm saying? Then what he do? He get the kids into it because specifically Christmas or something. We driving down the road, you see a house lit up with Christmas lights, and they say the Christmas spirit, well, that stuff is wicked, because that's how they get to you. They go through your kids to get to you. And that's something that happened throughout the generations, and what brainwashed us to, continue to celebrate these holidays. Because I always wondered, why is we celebrating this? What does this actually mean? What is, what I'm saying? Where did we get this from? When did we start celebrating this? You know what I'm saying? And then I realized, once I got older and got to getting in this truth and into this Bible, I realized, that's something the oppressor that pushed upon us to keep us distracted from what he's really doing, from what he's really trying to corrupt the world with. And another thing I see today, which happened back in old Babylon, is a bunch of lesbianism and homosexual activity. Now, I don't that ain't really what my class is about, but you can definitely see that happening throughout history. Like America is nothing but the modern day Babylon. Now he throwing every trick in the book he got at us right now, because there's more and more of us waking up. Is more and more of us coming out of that spell of America, coming out of that spell of Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Christianity is just some watered down acceptance for everybody, no matter what you did, no matter what you've done. And then what Christianity do to you again is, like, you could be sinning on Saturday. I'm talking about smoking weed, you know what I'm saying? You could be out turning our women into whores, or men just doing a lot of wickedness, you know what I'm saying, then go to church on Sunday. And then it be all good for the week. Then that week go out, you do the same thing again on Saturday. Like this, it's totally backwards because repentance means to stop the wickedness that you're doing, and when you stop it, you can't do it again. Like it's stop it, stop the wickedness. That's what repenting is about. Um, Another thing within Americas that I'm seeing is it's just a replay. Everything comes around. Like once we got like we call our modern day today, our slave is the jobs that we work. We call that the slavery because it really is a slavery. We going in, we punching in, we doing what we gotta do, punching out, going home. But back in the day, we didn't have no clocks. We worked for 25 cents a day. Like we was in jail, but we so-called out of jail, but still free. And that's in the Constitution. Like once you go to jail or prison, you lose all your rights. And it before they wrote that in the Constitution, it was like that anyway. You didn't have to go to jail to lose. We didn't have no rights. The Constitution wasn't written with us in mind as the 12 tribes of Israel. The Constitution was put in place to give us laws on what they think we can and can't do. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I want to start off with going to Barak 3 and 8 because this is going to further elaborate what I was just talking about as far as being enslaved and having to do things that we used to do, but this time it's like 10 times worse because uh, when did being like having to pay every 30 days, having to pay rent or bills every 30 days. When did that become the new norm? When Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans got free. That's when that became the norm. So I want to start off. I want to start off with Barak chapter 3 and verse 8 because this is going to further show you why it's going on, why this is happening. You know what I'm saying? And it's a reoccurring thing. The next thing, well, what recently new came out that you have to reoccur. It's a reoccurring payment. The Wi-Fi. You want Wi-Fi, don't you? Yeah, you have to pay for that every month. It's just like a reoccurring payment that you have to do, and that's wicked as hell because if you really wanted to help us, these payments wouldn't be every month. If you really wanted to help us, these certain things wouldn't be in place, but they use these things to keep us oppressed and to keep us under wraps and to keep us like they sprinkle little things on us to pacify us. Once we get a little bit too uppity or salaki, too uppity as they call it, we get a little too outrageous. They sprinkle us with little trinkets to keep us to pacify us and send us right back to sleep. Donald Trump did it most recent with the little checks, with the check thing. And now that Joe Biden in the office, it's just outrageous. I don't want to get into no politics and no things like that, but I'm gonna say one thing about Joe Biden. He's sending all the money away, like to other countries. Ukraine, he definitely sent like don't quote me on this, maybe like 1.4 billion or something like that. He just keeps sending money over there when you have to fix things at home first. But he's an oppressor. He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna help America because he knows that if you help America, so if you help Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans too much, we're gonna break away from y'all, and we you know what I'm saying, we ain't never gonna come back. Like we did that with Black Wall Street, we did that up in Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? We was doing these things back in the day, but what they do, they drop bombs on us. They totally wiped us out because they need the black dollar, Salakia. They need the so-called black dollar. They need the Mexican dollar, they so-called Mexican. They need the so-called Indian dollar because we are the ones that consume the most. we make things cool. Like that's how they run it by the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They run it by us first. And if we like it, then it's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. And the devil just is not no little red man underneath the dirt with no pitchfork. Talking about because we is living on it's hell on earth right now, man. So once you die, you think you're gonna go to double hell? Would you think it's a double hell? No, it's hell on earth right now because we ain't getting justice for the things that happen to us unjustly. They not going to jail for things that they do, and on top of that stuff be on camera, but they still don't go to jail for that. They hold themselves not guilty for what they do to us. That's how we know that it's hell on earth, and hell is not someplace underground. That's fire field. This place is fire field. It's a heat wave right now. You don't think this is hell? It's a heat wave all across America with temperatures heating up like 102 plus, 100 plus all across America in places where it's cool. It's cool at this time. Like, and we about to go into August, which is one of the hottest months. But they just recently came out on the news and said July was one of the hottest months ever recorded in American history. So when they said that, I'm like, dang, so what's August going to be? Because August is usually the hottest month out of the whole year. So we in for just a bunch of heat, for lack of words, a bunch of heat coming our way, literally and physically, because August is usually the hottest month. The hottest month throughout the whole year is usually August. But they just came out recently on the news and said it was July was one of the hottest months that we have so far. So I want to start off with Barak chapter 3 and verse 8, because I want to show y'all what's going on with these payments, and what's like why we have to pay month to month to month. They want to keep us broke, and then once we pay the rent or the bills month to month to month, they hit us with holidays. They hit us with certain things, not to mention your car registration, your license, your cable bills or whatever. It's just they trying to pile so much stuff on top of you to where you just working to pay. You just working to pay. So go to Barak in the Apocrypha. Barak chapter 3 and verse 8. Like I said, they want to just keep us real busy with working, and that's why I think it's so detrimental to brothers to start their own business, because the oppressor or the people that own these jobs, they want to keep you 6 days a week. They want you to work to the bone. Like they even try to put Saturdays on you. Like say you work 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. They actually try to add an extra day. Like, well, it's mandatory on Saturday. Like mandatory. So you mean to tell me I have to come here 5 days a week? Now you automatically add in another day talking about this mandatory that I have to work for you on Saturday. But they want us to keep working, so we just distracted with work so bad. We just so distracted with work, we don't have no time to rest. We don't have no time to think. We don't have no time. Like as an Israelite, as the so-called black, so-called Native Americans, so-called Hispanics, we need that time to relax in the sun, because the sun, it gives us strength. It opens up certain things in our body. It opens up, uh, especially blacks and natives, and so-called Hispanics. It opens up certain things with our mind. Once that sun hit our skin, it gives us strength. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you work outside. Now, if you work outside, like in the fields or in the crop fields, or cutting grass or something like that, you get a major amount of sun, and And that's terrific because we are people of the sun. Like we can actually stay out in the sun. You know, other these heathen nations, they will die if they go out there for too long. You know what I'm saying? So it's so important for us to get some time outside, to get us some sun on our skin, you know what I'm saying? To, you know, just open certain things within our mind. I didn't mean to go too far off topic, but I'm finna read Barak chapter 3 and verse 8 in the Apocrypha. This is the book of Barak chapter 3 verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us. Now, you know, you hear people say, we ain't slaves no more. We don't, you know, we don't do this, we don't do that, but we slaves in our mind. They got shackles on our brains because how do you know? Because, you know, what's the popular thing today? Rap. They got women rappers. All they doing is twerking on camera. And something recently just came out. The chick named Ice Spice, she had some kind of 16-year-old twerking in her video. She is under fire for that. Like, that's what's going on across America. You got these wicked female rappers that's corrupting the youth. All the female rappers, they don't, it's not about choreograph no more. It's not about choreographed dancing no more. It's all about twerking, being a hoe, being nasty, you know what I'm saying, and getting the bag. They call it getting the bag, which is, woman, you are turning yourself and the youth into whores. Because if they only doing this for a bag, then what's the definition of that's a prostitute? Like, you doing stuff for money. That's a prostitute. And that's what's happening throughout the whole globe. Like any you can name any female rapper, any female, you know, singer. Now they got the singers doing it too. The main thing they do on stage is twerk. Like, you don't have no other dances. That's because they've been sent to corrupt the youth. And it says we are still in our captivity where he scattered us. So that comes with when people say we not slaves no more, but we still under these curses. We still, you know, until we come out of America, until we have a different mind state, then that's when you can, you know, wake up and start living righteous. You can wake up and start living for the Most High of this Bible. Because if you not, you are dead, man. You are literally the walking dead. That's the definition of a zombie. You are literally a zombie. As a zombie game player, you are a literal zombie. You just walking around going day to day doing the same thing. You ain't, you know, I'm paraphrasing right now, but the scripture says actions will be weighed. I think that's in Proverbs, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken, so I ain't gonna call out the scripture, but it says actions are weighed. So if you just going around every day, you know, smoking weed, being a whore, being a pimp, trying to pimp our sisters out, sleeping with every sister and then leaving them, that's wicked as hell. And that's not what this Bible teaches. That's totally against the Most High. That's a sign of us still being in our captivity, because the men of this Bible, we don't sleep with women and just leave them. We are forever a part of their life until they commit adultery. You know what I'm saying? And especially in the UPK, we do not leave our women in here, man, unless they decide to leave us, unless they decide to, you know what I'm saying, because I know some of our sisters got the worldly sisters in their ear, you know what I'm saying, talking this and talking that, but it's ultimately your decision. If you want to, live and be righteous, then come to, the scriptures in UPK. If you want to continue to, it's a big thing today to party, you know what I'm saying? It's just a big party. You know what I'm saying? It's a time to party, and it's a time to be serious and come within these scriptures and study and prove yourself, you know, of being worthy of the Most High glory, man. Because this ain't for it is for everybody, but this ain't for everybody. I pray you understand that. And when I say everybody, I mean the 12 tribes of Israel. This is for all Israel, but it's not for all Israel. I pray you understand that right there, because that's real heavy. It's for all Israel, but it's not for all Israel, meaning some people is gonna get it. I'm one of them people that I just got it. As soon as I came in, I was like before I came into the school, I was studying, I was, you know, doing this and doing that, but I was still, you know, dabbling over here and over there. But once I realized the things that I was doing was just reoccurring back to back and wasn't getting nowhere, I'm like, man, something has to change. And that's how you got to think. Something has to change. You have to want to do good. You have to want to change. You have to want to be different from people that's, you know, doing the same things and being wicked, because that's only going downhill. It might feel good at the time, you know what I'm saying, or it might be, you know what I'm saying, acceptable to you at the time, but when you realize, if you a thinker, you would think on your ways, man. Like, what have I done to you know, to get on the Lord's good side? What have I done? And that was me. I had to think about it. Like, what you know what I'm saying? My grandma always is in this Bible. Let me get in this Bible for real. I'm talking about for real. And that's what we do in the UPK. We get in this Bible for real. This ain't no pass the bucket around. This ain't no and the Lord said this and pass that plate around. This ain't none of that. This is real life. We really do hold this to a high standard, man. That's how you have to be. You better put all that weed down, put all them cigarettes down, man. You better, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you actually think about it, you looking at your partner that's in the world, or your homie or your girlfriend that's in the world, and things just keep happening to them. That's because the stuff that you told them, it goes in one ear and out the other. Like, they completely disregard what you're talking about, especially when it comes to this Bible. They completely disregard it. But I didn't mean to go too far off the topic. Back to Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8. He said, "Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments." I mentioned that earlier, subject to payments. Well, we have to go to the oppressor for everything we need. Like, if you need a t-shirt, if you need clothes, what you do, you go to Walmart. So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't own Walmart. If you need food, you go to Woodman's, or, you know, Pick and Save. So-called Blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians don't own none of that stuff. So we are subject to payments. To further that on, the most recent payment that they taxing on everybody is the Wi-Fi. I'm pretty sure everybody has Wi-Fi. It's a reoccurring bill, no matter how cheap it is. It's just subject to payments. That's a new thing that they put upon us. At first, it was just rent, or low key, it was registering your car every year. Like, why do I have to register this car? I registered it last year. It's registered. They want you to re-register a car every year. Go pay for the little sticker every year. What else? Every other couple years, get a new ID, get a new license. Like, how come you can't just use my old license? No, they want you to keep paying, because we are subject to payments. That is rent, bills, water, light, gas, and not to mention real gas that goes in a car. Like, that's a reoccurring payment. Even though there's rumors of men out there, Israelite men, inventing cars that can run on oil, like cooking oil, or engines that can run on water. But you know what eventually happens when they threaten a big company such as the gas company or the oil company, what usually happens, the inventor usually get found dead somewhere or something like that. But that's a whole nother story. What I was getting to was subject to payments. Now this is in the Apocrypha. We are subject to payments every month, every other month, every other year. You got a car note? Oh yeah, that's subject to payments. Like it's just everything you can think of. It's just every month coming out our pockets, coming out our pockets, coming out our pockets. According to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God, meaning our ancestors departed from our God. That's why we in this captivity we in. Like I always hear the oppressor when they in front of camp, or when I'm watching classes online, they always say, well, we didn't do that. Well, we didn't do that, but you have to prepare slaughter for their kids, because they're not going to be here forever. The ones that actually did that, they're not going to be here forever. So what got to happen? You have to punish their generation to come after them, because they're going to eventually die off, and they think they're going to get away with the stuff that they did. But you have to, prepare stuff for their children's children and their generations in the future, because of what you did so many moons ago, or so many generations ago. You have to punish the people that's gonna be living, because if you die, ain't gonna have a chance to punish you, because you dead. That's a punishment on itself. Death is a punishment upon itself. And the gist of this scripture, chapter Barak chapter 3 and verse 8, is you are subject to payments, man. Every day, not every day, every month, every other year. Just payment, payment, payment. And then on top of that, they throw holidays on you. And then they throw the kids on you. The kid, some people spoil their kids to the rotten is rotten. You spoiled the kid. Nothing good after you spoil something, it's nothing good after that. Like, it's absolutely nothing good after you spoil something. Now I want to drop that and go to Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. Chapter 5 and verse 20, because this place is going down, man. Whether we like it or not, the Lord, he is angry with this place, man, because what they did to Israel, what's happening now. Like I was saying, the agendas they pushing, they trying to get to our kids. They, just doing a whole lot of wickedness to corrupt God's chosen people. You know what I'm saying? The oppressor makes everything that's bad good. He makes everything good bad. And he tells you to stay away from it if it's good. And he tells you to run to it if it's bad. And I said Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20, because this is what the oppressor does. He makes everything bad good. Like, for example, again, I hate mentioning it because it just makes my skin crawl. The lesbian and the gay movements, like, you can't say a word on the media. When I say media, the media outlets that actually got news channels and things like that, you can't say a word about these people or you will be canceled. Like, they got drag queens literally around kids, and that's something that kids should never have to see, because that's wicked as hell. That's wicked as hell. Now, like I was saying before, the oppressor, he makes good bad and bad good. That's why I wanted to bring y'all to Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20, because this is going to further elaborate what I'm saying. None of this, some of these things, when I'm speaking out the Bible, it's not my thoughts. These coming directly from the Bible. I'm not making none of this up. So we want to further elaborate what I was just talking about, is the oppressor, or the devil that the Bible speaks of. He makes everything good evil and everything evil good. He makes you run away from the good and run right into the evil. So we're going to go to Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20 to further elaborate on that. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. Now that's something that I was just talking about. The oppressor makes excuses for you to do evil things. Like what's one example? Today it's all about getting a bag. Even if it goes against your morals, if it goes against this Bible, the devil that the Bible speaks of done convince us, so-called blacks, so-called natives, so-called Hispanics, done convince us that you can do it for money. You'll feel better after you do it for money, but you're gonna be feeling worse. You're gonna be thinking, why did I do that for money? Like it's a new thing out here too called, well, I don't know how it ain't that new. It's not new at all, but it's new to me. Because I'll never pay for anything on there. It's called OnlyFans. That's how they justify uh wicked wicked slut, whore behavior. They saying, well, I'm living my life. It's getting a bag. Like everything, you're not supposed to do anything for money, especially as a woman taking your clothes off. Like that, your purity is in your chastity. In your chastity. Once you hold your chastity down, then you will find the most glorious man of the Lord, because that's what the Lord wants you to do. He wants women to, hold on to their chastity. Keep your legs closed, man. And he want our brothers to not slut these women out, not sleep with these women, then leave these women. Like that whole one night stand thing, that's wicked. Wicked as hell. Because once you sleep with a woman, that you are married to that woman. And it says so in these scriptures, but I don't want to get too far off what I'm talking about now. That's Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. And it reads, woe unto them that call evil good. That's that get the bag culture. It's a whole culture of getting the bag. Like they can do anything as long as they getting money for it. Like you're not supposed to do anything for money. That's another trick that the devil that the Bible speaks of, Esau, the so-called white man. That's another trick that he put upon he got that heavy on our sisters, man. Heavy. Because because they getting money, they willing to do almost anything. And I heard about some of these OnlyFans. It's real wicked, like really wicked. On top of that, you actually paying. I don't want to get into it, man. You actually paying for, some. I don't want to get into it, man. We just gonna move on from here. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. Like again with the lesbian and the gay movement. I was gonna say gay stuff. When we say that this Bible is against that, they say, well, the Bible is outdated. Well, that's not. What's their favorite thing? We in 2023. You should be accepting. No, I ain't never gonna accept that, because the Bible don't accept that. The Most High don't accept that. The Lord don't accept that. So why would I do something that the Lord don't accept? Why would I accept it? And that's another thing with our favorite president, which is Obama. He ushered that agenda in here, and it's been here ever since. Ever since that man said it was okay, what? Because I know some of these grandma's houses, they have a whole picture of Obama right in their front, right by the Bible. Like, no, he's not. He's an African man. And there's rumors are that he's a gay man, but that's not what I'm here to teach tonight. I'm not here to teach no type of theories and If I really had to prove, then I would say that. But I don't have no proof. I'm not here to put nothing on nobody. But that's an African man. We should definitely not be following him. And he ushered in this little rainbow elemental P community thing, which is totally against this Bible. So he called it, I mean, he called evil good. That's evil, and he calling it good. He's saying that it's all right, which is totally against his Bible. And good evil, that put darkness for light. Like that stuff is wicked darkness. And he's saying, I don't mean to say he's like Obama just out here making a speech or campaigning for it, but he ushered it in. So they're saying, and we should just accept the dark. You should just accept it because it's 2023. You still thinking like that? This is their favorite thing. You still thinking like that? Like, no, the Lord is thinking like that. The Most High is thinking like that. And I can never get on the capacity of what the Lord is thinking, what the Most High is thinking. But I can do what they do. I mean, not do what they do. I can be what they for. I'm for what they for. Put it like that. If they say it's wicked, then I say it's wicked. I will never deter from what's in this Bible, man, because it's the truth. And you can see it. What being lesbian or gay, what comes from that? No progress, no life, no what I'm looking for. No masculinity, no femininity. It's all I don't know if y'all familiar with the yin and yang symbol. That is literally no yin. It's two yins and two yangs. Like it's literally nothing prosperous about being in the elemental P community. I call it the elemental P community because it's too many letters, man. They got a plus sign, they got like it's real weird. And nowadays you got men out here, real actual men that's saying men can get pregnant. That's where that's why I turn the computer off right there. Once I hear a man saying a man can get pregnant, I turn it off right then. Like this month it's going down, man. America, the new Babylon, is going down because it's so wicked. It's corrupting kids. It's everything that's bad. They saying that is good. And also another big argument out here with this lady named Just Hilarious. She got into it with a transsexual because the transsexual talking about an actual woman don't own womanhood. Like, how does that even work? Women absolutely own womanhood because they was born a woman. You're trying to be a woman. So you hate women. You actually hate women. That's oppressing women. And I hope more of our sisters stand up for this, man, because some of our sisters condone this type of behavior. Like back in my day, you seen a gay man, you beat the crap out of him. I ain't saying do that. I'm saying back in the day, like, I was born in 1990, so 2000 to 2006, 7-ish. You beat the crap out of a gay man because you don't need that in this neighborhood. That wasn't welcome in this neighborhood. And two, who came around? Y'all favorite president, which is Obama, and it's in his name. Obama, Abomination, Obama-nation. Come on now. I can't believe y'all didn't see that, but that's for a different class. Where was I? I'm gonna just start all the way over to go over it again. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 20, Salakia, chapter 5, and verse 20. Woe unto them. Woe means destruction to them that cause confusion like this. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. Like, you know how they put light for darkness? The people that's coming out with the truth, the people that's telling you to stay away from wickedness, they suppress them. Sometimes maybe even kill them. They kill them because they don't want this truth to be out there. They want you to be living in some kind of fantasy world, and it's a even another new thing out here where people calling themselves they, them, kittens, frogs, and all kind of stuff other than a human. Like, this is crazy. That's how you know this is modern day Babylon is going down. But and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter, meaning just a whole bunch of confusion. Because now, this is you know who indoctrinated us with that first? The Jerry Springer Show came out in 1990 when I was born. Came out in the 90s. Jerry Springer Show got to introducing the youth in the, you know what I'm saying, the blacks, natives, and so-called Hispanics, got to introducing them to trannies. Because you never seen that type of thing on TV until Jerry Springer did. Then what happened? On more throughout the years, what's the other show that made it normalized, that got it in your eyes, so now it's in your mind? The Maury Show. They had a show called Gender Reveal or something like that. Reveal the Gender, where men was dressed up as women. And you had to guess whether they was a woman or a man. Now that's wicked as hell. That's confusion. We couldn't see it. Well, I couldn't. I was a little kid at the time, so I definitely couldn't see it. So imagine. Well, you know what they doing today? They having a lot of trannies coming into your kid's school, man, trying to read them books with all kind of provocative clothing on, you know, see-through lace, all this freaky business in front of a kid. Like, who said that was okay? And then you got some of the teachers being paid off to say that that's okay, to allow that type of wickedness into the schools, man. They after the kids. They after the kids, man. And I hope some of you sisters need to stand with Jess Hilarious, man, on that matter, because she's absolutely right. How man gonna take, man, this place is wicked. It's going down, man, for sure. I want to drop that and go to Proverbs chapter 25 and 9, because we say, you know, all we got to do is just pray on it. All we got to do is just pray. But if you ain't doing nothing, if you just praying it without the works, you literally just doing nothing. You doing nothing for nothing. That's nothing for nothing. Salaki, what I say? I mean, chapter 28, Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 9. Salaki. I think I said that anyway. But chapter 28 and verse 9, because this place is real wicked, man. And people's favorite thing to say is, well, I pray. They tell you that with a cigarette in their hand. They tell you that with some skimpy clothing on, revealing clothing. They tell you that gang banging. They tell you that, you know, after they just killed our brother or something. I prayed on it, but you just did a wicked act. And then you continue, once you prayed on it, you continue to do the wicked acts that you did before. Like, even more wickedness comes after they pray. And that's not something that goes right with this Bible. Once you pray about something, you have to leave it up to the Most High, because you prayed. So now you have to, either if you pray to stop doing something, you have to pray, leave it up to the Most High, then actually stop doing that thing that you prayed to stop doing. Because if you prayed and then you prayed to the Most High, and then the next day you did the same thing, like, it's not all on the Most High. It's on you too to put the effort in to do it, man. Because people think some spirits gonna get them to, you know, all of a sudden stop things. No, you have to, first of all, want to do it. You have to, you know, put the effort into doing it. You have to pray, want to do it, then apply the effort to do it. Because if not, then you just praying for nothing. You just literally praying for nothing. That's why I wanted to bring you guys to Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 9. And it reads, he that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, meaning, okay, you told some people in the world or whatever, or wherever you tell people, you ain't supposed to be doing that. You ain't supposed to be doing this. What they say, oh, I know. Oh, I know. God knows my heart. God knows me. And then they continue to do it. That's turning your ear away from hearing the law, especially from holy men of the Bible. The UPK is filled with holy men. I always knew that I was destined for a greater purpose, because sometimes I'll speak on something and then like a week or two later, the thing that I actually spoke, it actually happened. That's how I knew that I was destined for the UPK and the truth, man, because only a prophet of the Lord can do that kind of thing. It says, he that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, meaning you told this man or this woman time and time again, or, one after the other, one day after the other, this and this and that and that. And they say, oh, I hear you. And then they keep doing it or whatever. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. Shall be abomination. Now, abomination, let's get the definition to that, because I'm pretty sure I read that before in one of my classes. But hey, we've got new people in here. Some new people come in. You gotta, refresh their memory, because that's one thing. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that's one thing. We are forgetful people. Either we don't want to retain the knowledge, or we just forget it altogether. It goes in one ear and out the other. So I'm gonna get the definition of abomination, because people like to say, "Oh, the Lord, He knows my heart. He don't hate. He is not hating. He wouldn't do that. Don't say that." But I'm gonna show you, man. In abomination, this is the definition of abomination. Now, I'm gonna read the verse again, and then I'm gonna get the definition of abomination. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 28 and verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, meaning stop eating that pork, stop eating that shrimp, stop eating that crab and lobster, put those cigarettes down, put that weed down. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. Now, you ask yourself, what is abomination? Can't be that bad, right? Wrong. This is the definition of abomination: a thing that causes disgust or hatred. Now, he just said, even his prayer shall be an abomination. Abomination, a thing that causes disgust or hatred. Like, the Lord is disgusted with that, man. Once you try to pray and make your life better, and then I get it. Sometimes we do fall back into what we try to pray out of. Sometimes we do it, but how many times you gonna fall before you actually apply these things to your real life? Like I was once of the world before. Everybody was once of the world before they came into the UPK. Now, once you come in here, it's about discipline. That's a number one thing, discipline. So you have to have that discipline to get into this Bible, because you can't be tempted. You can't be tempted to do what you used to do, because that's your old. You have to leave that old person behind and become a new person. And you know what I'm saying? The scripture says, forgive people too, man. 70 times 7. Paraphrasing, of course. So we got the definition of abomination. He that turneth his ear away from hearing the law, meaning, man, we told you this. We tell you this time and time again. We told you that was wicked. We told you, but then they hit you with excuses. They hit you with the excuses. Oh, all I got to do is pray over it, or I can't never let it go. Oh, well, you know what? Even when you're trying to pray or whatever, the Lord is not going to hear. He disgusted with that prayer. That's a disgusting prayer. He hate that prayer. We just read it. A thing that causes disgust and hatred. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayers shall be an abomination, which is a thing that causes disgust and hate. So if you around any type of UPK Israelite, any type of man of the Lord from the UPK, and we begging and pleading you not to do something, we going out our way to show you that stuff is wicked. You know what I'm saying? Just listen to us and do your own research. Get into the Bible yourself and see if we telling the truth or not. Because one thing about the UPK, when it comes to this Bible, we ain't making nothing up of our own indoctrination of our own mind. We coming straight out the Bible with it. We, you know what I'm saying, reading it line for line and breaking it down, because that's what the Christian pastor do. That's what your Baptist pastor do. They read it and they put their spin on it. They spin it. They don't read the whole thing either. They spin it. It's a bunch of spinning going on. That's a new thing too in the streets. We spin, we slide. So that's crazy. And I want to go to 1 Samuel, because I remember earlier in my class, I was saying how actions are weighed. And 1 Samuel is going to show you that actions are weighed. You can't just talk a good game. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 3. 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 3. You know what I'm saying? You have to, be about action in here. Once you get in this truth, you have to actually be about the action. 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 3. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 3. Talk no more, talk no more so exceedingly proudly. Let not arrogance come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. Now, this whole verse, chapter 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3, this whole verse is telling you, you can't just talk about it. You can't just dream about it. You can't just think about it. Actions are weighed. You have to put into action. You have to actually apply this. Because you just thinking about it, you just talking about it, nothing gets done. You have to, that's the start of something right there. Putting some actual effort towards it. Doing the action, doing what you say you're gonna do. It's basically saying, be a man/woman of your word. Because once you talk about something, once you put it out there, you have to actually be a doer. Because actions are weighed, not thoughts, not speech. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing else but actions. Once you put in the actions, then those are weighed. Because I can tell somebody to stop eating pork all day. I can tell somebody to stop smoking cigarettes all day. But until they actually put the action in to actually try to do it and put a full good effort into it, they'll never stop. What they used to say. Oh, I can stop at any time. I can stop at any time. Well, why don't you stop? Because it ain't doing nothing but making your lifespan shorter. It's shortening up your lifespan. And we need all our people out here. We need every single one of our brothers and sisters to be up here. And I want to, before I get out of here, I want to say a verse for the children as well. I want to say something for the children as well. How we got to get these children to follow this book and to be into this book, because if not, what's gonna happen with the children? You're just gonna give them a cell phone and they just gonna be all day on the cell phone, like doing nothing but being on the cell phone or on the, on the YouTube all day. If you don't give them nothing to do, it's gonna be sitting around. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so glad that I wasn't raised on technology. I wasn't like, to pacify me, they didn't give me no tablets. They didn't give me no, what I'm saying? What is it? Tablets, notebooks, digital things. Like when I was growing up, I actually had to go to a center to get on a computer. I actually had to go places. And then on top of that, them certain places closed at a certain time. So I wasn't on the internet all night, all day, all night, all day. Like them places closed at a certain time. So we was on the internet for a certain time, then it closed at a certain time. And we couldn't go every day because either we didn't have the ride or we didn't, certain ailments was in our way. But nowadays, parents give kids a cell phone, tablet, whatever, shut them up like that. And you have to monitor these kids on what they actually watching, because some of these people on this YouTube, on the internet period, are wicked, and they out to actually get your kids, to brainwash your kids against you, whether it be, to believe what they believe in, or, but I wanted to get this last scripture before I get up out of here. Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6. I'm gonna give y'all a little time to go to it. Chapter 22 and verse 6. Because it's all about the kids now. I'm in my 30s, man. I'm getting up there, I'm not a child no more. And I know the future is the children, because they're going to be here when we ain't here. You know what I'm saying? We got to leave some type of belief system with them before we leave. Or some type of, we got to put some kind of apples in their head before we leave. We can't just spoil them, because like I said earlier, something that's spoiled, it can never be good after that. Once it's spoiled, it's spoiled. It's spoiled. Name something that's spoiled that you can still eat after it's spoiled. What's spoiled? Milk spoil. Uh, spoil is another thing for rotten. So anything that's rotten, what can you still eat? Like apples rot, milk spoils. Like, come on now. Now, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Meaning, get these kids into these classes, man, because this is going to help them live. This is going to help them, procreate. This is going to help them overcome the elemental P community. You know what I'm saying? Because if you just give them a phone or give them technology and send them on their way, it's all kinds of wickedness on it. I know as a grown-up, I see all kind of wickedness on his cell phone, man. All kinds of wickedness on YouTube. So imagine, like my brain's fully developed. Imagine a kid that can't understand certain things, that's constantly seeing certain things. And on top of that, constantly having strangers that's on the internet telling them that these things are okay. No, you have to train up a child in the way that he she should go. Because if you leave a child out there to fend for themselves, the child always most definitely chooses the dark side. Most definitely. But if you're training up a child to be good, if you're training up a child to be a thinker, if you're training up a child to, just be like, a child should be moving, more activities with the child. Like once you get older, some of them activities die down. But as a child, you're supposed to constantly be using your energy. That's the most time you have the most energy when you're a kid. Once you sitting at home all day, you're getting used to being idle. You're getting used to sitting around. And that's gonna come later once you get older. You're gonna be used to sitting around, used to, not doing nothing. that's why I get so much. I like how my sister in the world, my blood sister, doing in the world, because she keeps her, her children busy, 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 busy. You know what I'm saying? That gives them an idea. Oh, I need some. I need to stay busy, because once my hands are idle, I can do wickedness. Wickedness comes with idle hands. And now what's chapter 20, Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. I'm going to read it one more time. Train up a child in the way he/she should go. And when he/she is old, they will not depart from it. You know what I'm saying? Put these bugs in their ear, man. Let them know that they the most glorious people upon this earth, man. Let them know that abortion is wrong. Let them know that being LMNOP is wrong. Let them know these things, because it absolutely is. Nothing good comes from that. And one more thing on the news, it's a lot of lesbian women coming up, becoming killers to their women, because it's confusion. Because a woman can't, some women can't handle that rejection. Now you got a woman getting rejected by another woman. So that is really, it's really up. What they say is it's really up and it's stuck. So, train up a child to, not follow these wicked people, man. And I encourage you parents out there to be nosy, be all in your child business, no privacy whatsoever. You in here to put bugs in their ear, to make them go the right way, because it's a real agenda attacking these kids, man. And we want to protect kids. You know what I'm saying? We want the kids to get, inherit the kingdom as well. We don't want them to be, turned out or corrupted before they even get a chance to live. For real. And with that being said, this is the ISUPK coming out of One West, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. And we are not affiliated with no other Israelite groups, period. I'm Officer Kananya in Milwaukee, and Shalom, Israel.